Today at Gravity Mining, we're building a machine which has the PureSelect blades in it. We're going to take a short video on how we install these blades. They're a little bit less forgiving than the standard blades, so we need to be careful in the way that we adjust them. The difference is on the PureSelect scraper arms. Unlike the standard blades where we have 4 different arms, on this machine there's 2. So there's 2 leading scraper arms, one there and one 180 degrees opposite. And what they do is they create 2 spirals. So these are the trailing arms here. They're a little bit further behind. So these go 180 degrees apart, the 2 leading ones. And then you have the trailing arms behind it. And they create 2 spirals in the drum, and obviously you can see that there's many more blades, active and passive, on these machines. The first thing we do is try to find the high spot of the drum. Now the drum is a fabrication, so there's a little bit of ovality quite often, or eccentricity on the drum. So what we've got is we've got a straight edge against the front rocker arm, and we're rotating it until we can find the high spot. Typically we got anywhere between 1 to 2 millimeters on the ovality of the drum, and you can see here we're lining up against a high spot, and there might be 1 or more high spots. We've already checked this drum, so we know that there's a couple of high spot points on it, and this is the worst one. So what we will do is we will check the clearance on the blades at the bottom when this is at the bottom and lined up with each of the blades. So what we're trying to do now is we will have the drum in the bottom position, and we'll have to rotate the drum until we get one of the blades to line up with one of those drums. Now remember that the blades are moving anti-clockwise relative to the drum, so we keep rotating until they line up. You see this one is just coming close. It's going to take a couple more turns to get it to line up perfectly. There we are, it's coming close. So that's just about right there. So it's in the bottom position, and then we will check the clearance there. So what we've got here is one of the ways that we found is a good way to set the blades. Now what we've done is we've got the drum at the bottom, on the high spot is at the bottom, and it's lined up with the blade that you're trying to adjust. And what we've done is we just put normal printer paper under the blades, and that's set up so that we get the right sort of clearance underneath the blades to make sure that the blades just touch the drum, but there's not too much interference against the drum. And what we're doing there is we've just got a pry bar to lever the front and the back to make sure we get a nice even pressure on the blades on the drum. And if we look down the blades here, you can see that there's you can't see probably in the video, but what we try to get is a nice even fit against the drum. Now there might be a clearance on the back edge, and that's fine, or there might be a clearance on the front edge. Overall we're trying to get a nice even pressure on it, but it's inevitable with all the tolerance stack-ups that there's going to be some clearance in some areas on the blades, and that's okay. So if we move the front piece of paper here, you can see it just drags along it. So with pressure applied on the blades, we just check each of the individual blades by hand just to make sure they're all settled nicely against it. You can see they're all free to move, and then we nip up the scraper arms, not tightening them too much, but just nipping them up in case we need to adjust them again. At this point we only need to nip up 2 really, just for adjustment. And so then what we do is, just to make sure that there is clearance there, we rotate the drum, and what should happen is it should rotate and the paper should fall out without being ripped. So it says it's a nice even contact against the drum, and you can see there the paper slides out nicely. There's no rips on the paper and it just drops out. So that says that we've got a nice clearance there. There's not excessive drag on the blades, and you can see everything is nice and neat at the back there. And that's what we do.